In this video, I'm going to be ranking the top 5 Royal Rumble / Battle Royale modes in all of wrestling games of all time. Of course, since this is my list, it's going to be according to my experiences, the games that I played and I personally enjoyed. But if you have your own, make sure to let me know down in the description. I always love answering you guys' comments. That being said, I also do a lot of WWE 2K24 content, so if you're interested, show this button some love. And that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the first item on the list being number 5. I'm going to say WWE 2K14. Now, to be honest, I'm not in love with this type of Royal Rumble, but at the end of the day, it can really be fun. And when you look at W2K14's Rumble, it doesn't last insanely long. You can eliminate people once you have them on the ropes by pressing the right buttons at the right time. You can do finishers. You can eliminate people from the corner or from the bottom rope after they go over the top rope. And you also have a badass roster because the modern roster is pretty good. You got CM Punk, John Cena, Zack Ryder with the weird haircut. You got all of the Shield as the Shield because that was like when they recently debuted. You even got Ryback, man. Trek's boyfriend. I mean, what else do you want? Oh, you want lots of legends? Well, 30s of WrestleMania. Because of that mode, this game has an insanely good Legends roster as well. And Legends are super important because they're a huge part of the Royal Rumble, right? You have your current superstars and then some Legends return and make the Rumble even more fun than it already is. Also, crucially, this Royal Rumble mode is not fundamentally different than SmackDown vs. Raw. That's it. Not SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, not 6, the first ever SmackDown vs. Raw that came out in 2004. Even though the first SmackDown vs. Raw and W2K24 is years apart, the Rumble is almost the same. But what sets 2K14 apart besides the roster and the gameplay and some of the new bells and whistles like the finishers is that you can do a 40-man Royal Rumble. You cannot do that in today's WWE games. This was added back in WWE 12 because in 2011 we had a 40-man Battle Royale which Alberto Del Rio won of all people. And that actually brings up a nice question. Why can't we just have an 11-person Royal Rumble, for example? And why cannot we have the entire roster just come in? I think that'd be pretty funny. You can even put an achievement for it. You know, why is it only 10, 20, and 30? You know, just thinking out loud here. But in WWE 2K24, you do have that 40-man Royal Rumble, which is unique. Not something you can do in any other WWE game, besides 2 others, of course. WWE 12 also has one more thing over 2K14, and it's the camera angle. You can actually see the Titantron and the rest is coming in and out, which is making a return this year, so I'm super hyped about that. But 2K14 doesn't have it. It has the boring camera angle where you see the crowd. Ooh, boo. So it was actually tough for me to choose between 12 and 14, but when you look at the gameplay, the pacing, and the roster, and everything else as a whole package, 2K14 takes this one. Number 5 was 2K14. Number 4, ladies and gentlemen, is a game that is a lot less restrictive than 2K14. You can literally do anything you can think of in this game. Create anybody you want, put hundreds of weapons in the match, objects as well, and then explosives. And then you can submerge the entire arena underwater. You can have everybody hog-tied to each other or with a chain. Doesn't even have to be a rope. And with some mods, you can have over 365 wrestlers or something like that in the ring all at once. I'm talking about the Wrestling Empire created by the one and only Matthew Dickey. The amount of fun you can have and the freedom you can have really sets this apart from anything and everything else. You have so many unique reversals, move melding, aerial collisions, so many unique scenarios, and the fact that the game is so accurate is something I also adore because say you throw somebody out of the ring, which you can do by a suplex or by a back suplex or by a back body drop or by many other moves in the game, or maybe something explodes and somebody flies over the top rope, but hey, they land on the stairs and not on the floor. So that means they're not out of the mat. If they get up on the stairs and enter the ring from there, no problem. Why? Because their feet didn't touch the ground. You know, that's just awesome. You all know Matt Dickey is absolutely goated. For a game that was made by a single man, there are so many dynamic mechanics at play, it's insane. But the reason why this bad boy is not even higher on the list is because of the AI. The AI in the Matt Dickey universe seems to have always been on life support. They simply don't care about eliminating you, and once they do that, it's probably by complete luck. So while you're playing the game by yourself, you're gonna have to create your own fun by telling stories in your head and working against the AI instead of working with them, which gets kind of tiring. Not to mention, if you wanted to run a simulation, again, that can take 10 hours because the AI simply will not go for the elimination. So this knocks it down a couple of points for me. Speaking of the AI not going for the elimination, let's talk about AEW Fight Forever, which is gonna be my number 3. Might be shocking. You know what else I would have put on this list instead of AEW Fight Forever if it worked properly? I would put No Mercy. Because AEW's Fight Forever Casino Battle Royale is basically WWF No Mercy's Royal Rumble with an AI that actually works. In Fight Forever, the AI actually goes for an elimination. Or even if they don't, it's so much easier to eliminate somebody in this game, so the match moves along. While you're playing or while you're watching, it is fun. While in No Mercy, I'm sure you guys know if you've played it, if you let the AI take over, it is absolute dumb luck. Absolute dumb luck if they eliminate somebody. They simply did not code that in, just like in the Matika games. And the unfortunate thing is, in Matika games, any move can take you out. Again, an explosion can take you out. Fight Forever, like I said, it's easier to get eliminated. No Mercy, it just doesn't happen, man. Getting back to Fight Forever, I know it gets a lot of criticisms for a lot of things by you, by me too, actually, and it deserves most of it. But I cannot deny the fun I had while playing this game, even if it was for a short time. If this game wasn't an incomplete, buggy mess, imagine the heights it could have gone to. It would have been absolutely great. Just like the second game on this list. Number 2, ladies and gentlemen, is SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, which I call the TikTok of Royal Rumbles because it's just so fast. You look at the number on the left and it says 30 people remaining. You close your eyes and open them for like 3 times. And by the time you're done with your 3rd time, you see that there's like 5 people left now. It really is that fast, but you know what? If you want an arcade-style battle royale, I don't think there's a better option in the entire world than Here Comes the Pain. I mean, you look at the roster, you got Goldberg, Triple H, heel Hollywood Rock from 2003, which is the best version of The Rock ever. You got John Cena, Rhino, RVD, Hurricane, and so many other names. The roster is absolutely insane. Even the people you would consider jobbers at the time are still big names. It speaks to how talented the roster was back then. Eliminating somebody from this match is super easy. You Irish whip the person and they go over the top rope. Sometimes that's literally all you need to do. They fall off. If they don't, you just have to hit them once before they get back inside the ring. That's it. It could be a punch, kick, doesn't even matter. You just need to touch them, honestly. Pause. But the cool part is, even though sometimes you can eliminate a person in a millisecond because of this, sometimes you miss and they find their way back in. Or sometimes, just as you're about to eliminate somebody, another wrestler comes around and messes with you and that guy survives. Sometimes everything is perfect. You go for the punch that is surely gonna land. They reverse that punch, shoulder barge you, and make their way back into the ring. So the person who's on the bad side of the ordeal can actually make a comeback, which makes it a lot more fun. It adds intrigue. And then you got the soundtrack and the graphical style, the presentation, everybody having their own unique animations, the moves looking crisp and impactful. This whole package, ladies and gentlemen, is the total package. Here Comes the Pain is absolutely goated. And there's only one reason why it's at number 2, and it's that it simply, in my opinion, is way too fast. Which is why at number 1, I'm gonna have to put WWE 2K23. Now, I hear you, but let me explain, okay? First of all, from 2004's first SmackDown vs. Raw to WWE 2K18. WWE 2K freaking 18, we had the same Royal Rumble, but in WWE 2K18, you gain the ability to crossline somebody, whether they're fresh, whether they've been in the Rumble for hours. One crossline and you can take him out. Or you can get reversed and you can get taken out for taking that risk, while also preserving the ability to grapple somebody while they're on the ropes and slowly but safely eliminate them. You also had the ability to eliminate somebody while they were skinning the cat. In the past, it was just an animation. You could do nothing about it. They would come back into the ring every single time. You also gained the ability to Irish flip somebody so hard that they just go over the top rope and they're done. They're out, eliminated. And being able to do these 3 new things after so many years changed everything about the Rumble. So we're talking about the same formula. It was at number 5 with W2K14. These changes made such a difference for me that I had to put this at number 1. Because like I said, although I enjoy it, Here Comes the Pain was way too fast at times. And then 2K14 was way too restrictive. However, the modern titles find a way to get close to the perfect formula. I'm not saying it's perfect. I think these rumbles should be shorter, and if they were, then we could say it's perfect. But having the rumbles last a little longer gives you more time to connect to the match, get invested to it. Having so many ways to eliminate somebody or get eliminated yourself takes away the restrictiveness, and I think that just makes this rumble mode so much better than any other game. Plus, in WWE 2K14 you can have 6 people. Matt Dickey's game, that's unlimited, so let's put that aside. AEW Fight Forever, up to 4 people. SmackDown Comes of Pain, up to 6 people. In these modern titles you can have up to 8 people in the match. The more the merrier when it comes to the Royal Rumble. And then you have like 250 wrestlers, an amazing creation suite where you can create anybody. Modern wrestlers, legends, doesn't even matter. Some of the creations end up being better than actual models in the game. You also have nicer graphics. Crucially, people always talk about discounting WWE 2K14, 2K19 being the best game that 2K has ever done. And under normal circumstances, I probably would have put that as a 2K game with the Rumble here, with all the new features. But the reason I didn't is because in 2K23, now if the Bloodline come in there, or if any other tag team like the New Day come in there, they attack everybody else but each other. And once all the enemies, all the opponents are gone, that's when Kofi Kingston and Big E will attack each other. I really do think, even though this is a small detail, it makes a real big difference. Because it can completely change the dynamic of the match. So yeah, that's why WWE 2K23 is at the number 1 on my list. But you can easily exchange this with WWE 2K24. The game isn't out yet, but come on. Now you have the close-up camera and the Titantron camera, and you can switch between them dynamically whenever you want. That alone, if there's nothing else in the Royal Rumble added this year, it doesn't even matter. It puts it over the 2K23. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna be it for my best Royal Rumble / Battle Royale modes in all wrestling games. Let me know if I was right or wrong. And before I get out of here, if you want to learn about what else we don't have or have in 2K24, I suggest you watch this video. I think you'll enjoy it. All right, take care of yourself, okay?